Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive breakdown of one of the most shocking moments in daytime television history. Picture this: the set of The View, that iconic round table where opinions fly like daggers and egos clash harder than rush hour traffic. Joy Behar, the fiery host who's been a staple on the show for decades, known for her sharp wit, unfiltered commentary, and that signature laugh that could cut through steel. She's grilled politicians, celebrities, and everyone in between without batting an eye. But on this fateful day, everything changed when Tom Hardy, the brooding British actor famous for his intense roles in films like Mad Max and Venom, stepped onto the stage as a guest. The audience was buzzing with excitement. After all, Hardy isn't your typical talk show guest. He's enigmatic, often reclusive, and brings an air of mystery wherever he goes. The interview started innocently enough, with Whoopi Goldberg leading the charge, asking about his latest project, a gritty thriller that had critics raving. Joy, ever the provocateur, jumped in with her trademark sarcasm, questioning Hardy's method acting techniques. "Tom, darling," she said with a smirk, "do you really have to live like a feral animal to play one? I mean, couldn't you just pretend like the rest of us?" The panel chuckled, the audience tittered, but Hardy's expression remained stoic, his piercing blue eyes locking onto Joy like a predator sizing up prey. He leaned forward, his voice a low rumble that sent shivers down spines. "Pretend, Joy. Pretending is for those who haven't lived. Have you ever truly faced your demons? Or do you just talk about them from the safety of this chair?" The room fell silent for a beat, the tension thick enough to slice with a knife. Joy, unflappable as ever, tried to laugh it off, but Hardy wasn't done. He delved deeper, turning the tables with surgical precision. "You sit here day after day, judging the world, but what about your own reflections? That time you mocked a grieving family on air. Does that keep you up at night?" Gasps echoed from the crowd. Joy's face flushed red, her usual confidence cracking under the weight of Hardy's unflinching gaze. The other hosts shifted uncomfortably, Sunny Hostin trying to interject with a light-hearted comment, but it was too late. Hardy continued, his words like venom, exposing what many viewed as Joy's hypocritical stances on various issues, from politics to personal freedoms. He referenced old clips where Joy had contradicted herself, pulling no punches. Consistency. Joy. That's the real method. Not this performative outrage. By now, the studio was in chaos. Producers whispered frantically off stage. Commercial breaks were called early, but the damage was done. Joy stammered a response, her voice shaking for perhaps the first time in her career. "Well, Tom, I think you're misunderstanding." But Hardy just shook his head, a faint smile playing on his lips. "No misunderstanding, love. Just truth." As the segment wrapped, Joy excused herself, claiming a sudden headache. But insiders whispered it was more than that. Her pride shattered, her authority questioned in front of millions. Whispers backstage suggested tears in the dressing room, heated arguments with the production team. And just like that, the unbreakable Joy Behar began to crumble. This wasn't just an interview. It was a demolition, a brutal takedown that left viewers stunned and social media ablaze. Tweets poured in. Did Tom Hardy just end Joy's career? Fent the View drama? And, finally, someone called her out! Far Tom Hardy legend. But as the dust settled, the real bombshell dropped. Joy Behar announced her resignation from The View, citing personal reasons. But we all knew the truth. That humiliation was too much to bear. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the fallout, the reactions, and what this means for the future of the show. Now, let's rewind a bit and unpack how this all unfolded behind the scenes. Sources close to the production reveal that booking Tom Hardy was a coup for The View. His publicist had been hesitant, knowing his client's aversion to fluffy chat. But the team promised a respectful, engaging conversation, highlighting Hardy's humanitarian work alongside his acting chops. Little did they know, Joy had her own agenda. Known for her liberal views and no-holds-barred style, she saw Hardy as an easy target. After all, his tough guy persona screamed machismo, something she'd critiqued endlessly. As the cameras rolled, the initial banter was light. Alyssa Farah Griffin complimented his accent. Sarah Haynes gushed over his fitness regime. But Joy, sensing an opportunity, steered into controversial waters. Tom, in your movies, you're always the silent type, brooding in the shadows. Is that because you have nothing to say, or is it just good acting? The jab landed, but Hardy parried effortlessly. Silence speaks volumes, Joy. Unlike noise, which often hides emptiness. Ouch. The audience oohed, sensing the spark. Joy pressed on, bringing up Hardy's past interviews, where he'd discussed mental health struggles. You talk a big game about vulnerability, but here you are, all armored up. Hypocrite much. That's when Hardy unleashed. He didn't raise his voice, he didn't need to. With calm intensity, he dissected Joy's on-air persona, vulnerability. You've built a career on tearing others down while hiding behind humor. Remember when you dismissed climate activists as doomsayers, or mocked conservative guests without letting them speak? That's not debate. That's bullying. The panel froze. Whoopi tried to mediate. Let's keep it civil, folks. But Hardy was on a roll. He cited specific episodes, his research evident, perhaps prepped by a savvy team, or his own sharp memory. Joy's retorts grew weaker, her laughter forced. "Oh, come on, it's just TV," she exclaimed, but Hardy shook his head. "TV influences lives, Joy. Words have power. Yours have hurt many." The break came as a mercy, but post-commercial, the vibe was off. Joy appeared subdued, her questions rote. Hardy, ever the professional, pivoted to promoting his film, but the elephant in the room loomed large. Off-air, reports say Joy stormed to her trailer, slamming the door. Co-hosts checked on her, but she waved them off. That night, emails flew. ABC executives in damage control. PR spinning the segment as spirited discussion. But Joy's decision was swift. She quit, effective immediately. In her statement, she mentioned wanting to focus on writing and family, but fans weren't buying it. Online forums exploded. Reddit threads dissected every word. YouTube reactions amassed millions of views. "Tom Hardy is my hero," one commenter wrote. He said what we've all been thinking. Celebrities weighed in too. Elon Musk tweeted, "Truth bombs on daytime TV. About time." While others defended Joy, calling Hardy rude. The View's ratings spiked, but at what cost? Losing a founding member over one interview. As we explore further, we'll hear from experts on why this clash resonated so deeply in our polarized world. Diving into the aftermath. The ripple effects of this confrontation were immediate and far-reaching. The View's next episode opened with a somber tone, Whoopi addressed the elephant head on. Yesterday was intense. Folks, we love spirited debates, but sometimes lines get crossed. No mention of Joy, but her empty chair spoke volumes. Viewers tuned in record numbers, curious about the fallout. Social media was a battlefield. Fanjoquits trended worldwide. Memes of Hardy's glare superimposed on everything from kittens to world leaders. Supporters of Joy rallied, accusing Hardy of misogyny. A man silencing a woman. Not cool. While others praised his candor. Finally, accountability for biased hosts. Tom Hardy, true to form, stayed silent post-show. His team issuing a bland statement. Tom enjoyed his time on The View and wishes the hosts well. But insiders say he was unfazed, viewing it as just another role, albeit unscripted. Joy, meanwhile, was spotted in New York, looking pensive, avoiding paparazzi. Her friends leaked that she felt betrayed by the producers for not intervening sooner. Rumors swirled of a lawsuit, but nothing materialized. Instead, Joy pivoted to her comedy roots, announcing a stand-up tour titled Unfiltered and Unemployed. Jokes aside, the humiliation cut deep. In a rare interview weeks later, she admitted, "It was a wake-up call. Maybe I dish it out too hard sometimes." The View scrambled to fill the void. Guest hosts rotated, from Rosie O'Donnell reprises to fresh faces like AOC. Ratings dipped initially, but rebounded with edgier segments. Analysts pondered the bigger picture in an era of cancel culture. Who gets canceled? Joy, with her history of controversial remarks, had dodged bullets before. Remember her blackface apology. But Hardy's attack felt personal, exposing vulnerabilities she'd long buried under bravado. Psychologists weighed in on talk shows. Confrontations like this highlight the toxicity of performative outrage. One said, "It's entertainment, but at human cost." Fans dissected Hardy's strategy. Was it planned? Some theorized he researched Joy extensively, turning her weapons against her. Others saw it as spontaneous combustion. Either way, it sparked debates on media ethics. Should hosts be held to the same scrutiny as guests? The incident even inspired parodies. SNL skits with Kate McKinnon as Joy, facing off against a gruff Beck Bennett as Hardy. Lauder healed some wounds, but for Joy, the scar remained. As months passed, she authored a memoir, Viewed from Afar, spilling tea on behind the scenes drama. Excerpts teased feuds with co-hosts, network pressures. The book flew off shelves, proving her resilience. Hardy, meanwhile, scored an Oscar nod, his View appearance boosting his unpredictable brand. In hindsight, this clash was more than humiliation. It was a cultural moment, forcing reflection on discourse in divided times. As we continue, let's explore fan reactions and what lessons can be learned from this TV takedown.